Welcome back viewers to the List of Legends list, and today we're going to be looking at the top 8 dumbest cartoon characters. We'll be focusing on characters who are not only known as naive, but who have went above and beyond to stand out as just total knuckleheads. As dumb as they may be, they are still some of my favorite characters, and as always, before we begin, make sure to click that like and subscribe button so I know you like my content. Without further options, let's begin. At our number 1 spot, I chose Fry from Futurama, and while I will cut Fry some slack since after all he has a lot less experience compared to everyone else around him, but still make no mistake, he's still dumber than dirt. From screwing up most of his inventions to trying to grab money on power lines, Fry is a character that doesn't do much thinking and instead just acts without hesitation. While Fry may be one of the dumbest characters, he still manages to get the job done. Sort of. At our number 2 spot, we have Ralph Wiggum, and while The Simpsons are full of dumb characters, Ralph takes the cake for the World's Moron Award. Whether it's him wanting to be a caterpillar when he grows up or having his head glued to his shoulder, his high-pitched voice shows his innocence of stupidity, but also shows how much of a lovable goofball he is. Overall, Ralph is one of those funny characters that does comic relief very well, and honestly, I don't think I could see The Simpsons without him. Even as a minor side character, he has managed to give me a run for my money in the laughing department, and will always be one of my favorite dumb characters. Number 3, we have Lindsay from Total Drama, and she is, well, downright stupid, and honestly, if it wasn't for her lovable lame brain personality, I don't think she would have lasted long as she did in the previous competitions. I mean, she not only managed to get herself voted off in the first episode of All Stars by unintentionally voting herself off because she didn't understand how to vote someone else off. She also didn't know how to push a stroller or understand that Heather was just using her to get further in the game. So overall, I think we can safely hand Lindsay one of the stupidity awards. Hitting our halfway point on our list at our number 4 spot, we have Sheen from Jimmy Neutron, and while Sheen has so much comic relief to the show, he's dumber than dumb. Sheen is one of those characters who if you tell him not to do something, chances are he will probably do it, whether it's dangerous or not. This happens a lot when Jimmy makes a new invention, and Sheen of course, being the dummy, and messes with it. If it tells you anything, Jimmy had his rocket set up in his lab and even put a note saying Sheen do not push this button. I think we all know what happens next. Yeah, Sheen presses the button and manages to get himself stranded on another planet, and that is why we have Planet Sheen, at least in the Jimmy Neutron universe. Number 5 is Lenny Loud from the Loud House, and almost like Lindsay, she doesn't even know what a vacuum cleaner is and instead calls it a sucky thing. She also manages to run into the bathroom door and walls all the time, and that's not good. Lenny's definitely the Patrick Starr of the Loud House for sure, and as dumb as she may be, she still manages to provide a lot of comical relief to the show. And the Loud House wouldn't be as loud if Lenny wasn't a part of it. Especially with her, not running into walls or the bathroom door for that matter. Number 6 on our list, I have Peter Griffin from Family Guy, and I'm sure most of you all knew he's going to be on this list. The amount of stupid things Peter Griffin has done is so long that I would literally be here for an eternity just to name all of them. But to name a few, he not only faked his death to avoid paying the doctor's fee, but he also commits welfare fraud, and that's literally in the first episode of the series. In one episode, he even believes he's a genius, so Brian takes him to take an IQ test, which obviously comes back as dangerously stupid. Not only does he embrace this to everyone, but he ends up pouring hot oil on Lois, which causes her to be in the hospital, and as a result, he loses his kids. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to commit so many acts of stupidity is beyond me. Nearing the end of our list at a number 7 spot, we have Cosmo from the Fairly OddParents, and anyone who watches the Fairly OddParents knows just how much of a dimwit Cosmo is. Cosmo not only managed to cause Crocker to lose him and Wanda as his godparents, but almost Timmy as well. You'd think with his thousands of years experience as a fairy, he would have learned a lot, but quite the opposite. Cosmo seems to just take steps backwards and it almost feels like it's endless. If it wasn't for Wanda and the fact that fairies live forever, I don't think Cosmo would have lived longer than 5 minutes. Cosmo literally doesn't know how to do anything by himself, and everything he says or does is just downright dumb. While Cosmo is dumber than a bag of rocks, he's still a loving and caring godparent. At our great number 8 spot, it's none other than the stupidest sea creature himself, Mr. Patrick Starr. Now, there are a lot of dumb cartoon characters out there, but most look like a genius compared to Patrick, and that's saying a lot. I mean, he even went as far as going a whole episode of mistaking 2 other sea stars for his parents, and mistaking mayonnaise as a musical instrument. Like, how does that even happen? Literally, almost every line Patrick has, 9 out of 10 is going to be something stupid. Ultimately, Patrick really manages to turn the stupid scale on a whole new level, and honestly, it's a pretty good thing. For a show like SpongeBob, having a comical character like Patrick is what makes a good, funny show. I mean, if you ask someone to name a stupid cartoon character, chances are Patrick Starr is going to be the first one that comes to mind, and honestly, I wouldn't like to have it any other way. Patrick is my all-time funniest cartoon character, but what do you guys think? Is there an even dumber character out there than Patrick Starr? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright viewers, that's the end of our list. Let me know what list you'd like to see next. With all that said, I look forward to seeing you with our next list.